Today, following the test, you started working on a worksheet that introduced you to the different parts of an expression. And some of this should have been a review from your 6th grade standards because you've already dealt with a little bit of the expressions when you were doing one-step equations last year or one-step expressions last year. But now we just want to reintroduce the terms, especially now that since we're going to be dealing with a negative sign this year because of our newly discovered integer rules that we just finished in Unit 1. So by way of review, we want to determine in the first section whether or not each sample is an expression or an equation. And our instructions already tell us that an expression does not have an equal sign, and an equation does have an equal sign. So number 1 should be pretty easy. No equal sign means it's an expression. Number 2, equal sign. So it would be an equation. And I'm fine at this point if you go ahead and abbreviate expression EXP and equation, let's find one here, EQ. Just so long as you know that those two terms represent expression and equation if you're going to use them. If not, feel free to go ahead and write out the entire word. Part 2 of this worksheet asks for us to label the parts of the expression using the words coefficient, variable, and constant. And so in our example, we are shown the coefficient is the value of the number before a variable. The variable is the letter that's representing any possible number. And then the constant is the number when it stands by itself without a variable. So, for example, we could say for number 9, 10 is our coefficient. Y is our variable, and 11 is our constant. You should be able to do the rest of these pretty easily. The last section was a review. In other words, you should already know how to do these. So problem number 15 said x minus y. So we simply look at what the value is given for x. X is 2. And anywhere I see x, I plug that in. So 2 minus my value of y is 10. And again, if I needed to, I could rewrite this using my additive inverse rule. But hopefully by now you're starting to be able to see the pattern. Positive and a negative is going to give me a negative solution. But if you can't, we'll go ahead and rewrite it. 2 plus negative 10. So now I have a positive and a negative. It's going to give me a negative solution. So find the difference. Keep the sign of the larger absolute value number, which will be 10 in this case. So my solution is going to be negative. The difference between 10 and 2 is 8. So there's my solution, negative 8. And again, most of these should be reviews. So you should be all right doing them on your own. We'll check your answers tomorrow in class.